12 servers, one dish. Complete awkward silence, and a room full of diners suddenly unsure of how to react. That brief moment inside Trazin's studio in Dubai has now traveled across the internet. The clip has gone everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Reddit, and everyone has an opinion. People are glued trying to understand why it feels so uncomfortable. The restaurant is a Michelin-starred experience led by chef Himanshu Saini, who has said, "We are not serving food, we are serving emotion. Welcome to Forking with Michelin. Here we ask the questions fine dining would rather avoid."
A ceremony which is called Sadhya, comes from the southern part of India, where we celebrate the first harvest of the season. So we will get the ingredients one by one.
Okay.
To construct your dish. And at the end, I will tell you about the ingredients. I will also tell you how to eat it.
To understand why this moment is staged with such intention, we need to look at the dish itself. The dish in this moment is their interpretation of the Onam Sadhya, a celebratory South Indian feast reimagined as a sequence of micro-courses. It is meant to unfold like a ritual, a blend of memory, artistry, and technique. In the viral clip, each part of the dish is presented by a different server. Elements like grilled pineapple, coconut, rice, pickles, spiced broths, and delicate flowers arrive one by one, placed with intention, building a layered progression of sweetness, tang, heat, and aroma. It's designed to feel like a celebration, a miniature sensory festival. One guest described it as a dish that arrives like a story with chapters. Another said, "It opens slowly, like a memory you are supposed to rediscover." This is the artistic intent, to create a moment where flavor, timing, and atmosphere all converge. The problem is not the ambition of the dish. The problem is what happens when the delivery of that ambition feels more controlled than inviting. This is where the performance begins. This moment is not important because it was awkward, but because it revealed something. Fine dining is built on atmosphere, timing, and emotional suggestion. Every detail is designed to guide how the diner feels. When that guidance works, the experience feels effortless. But when it slips, even slightly, the entire performance becomes visible. What we saw in this clip was the moment the illusion thinned. Something strained, something self-aware, something that required the guest to participate correctly in order to remain convincing. This is why the internet reacted, not because of the dish or the restaurant itself. It was dissected online because everyone recognized the expression on the diners' faces. That look of, "Am I doing this right?" instead of, "I am enjoying this." That is the exact moment where pleasure disappears and performance begins. And once you see that shift, you cannot unsee it. The synchronized presentation is designed to create awe. 12 staff approaching together, plates lowered in perfect unison, a silent moment created to feel profound. But silence only works when it feels shared. Here, it feels directed. Look closely at the diners. Their eyes shift, their shoulders tense, no one moves. They are not lost in emotion. All are uncertain about how they are expected to respond. And the internet noticed the same thing. On social media, one viewer commented, "It looks beautiful, but everyone looks scared to be the first one to breathe." Another wrote, "This isn't hospitality. This is performance art with an audience that didn't get a script." Someone else simply said, "I can feel the awkward through the screen." And then there were those impressed by the spectacle itself. One user praised it, saying, "This is the highest level of service precision I've ever seen. It's like watching a ballet." But others pushed back. "If I have to act like I'm at a ceremony to eat, I'm not relaxed. Luxury shouldn't feel like a test." This is the moment viewers recognized instantly. The exact second where luxury stopped feeling luxurious and began to feel like a phony theater act. And that is why this clip spread so quickly. Fine dining was once about comfort elevated into elegance. But now, in many restaurants, the experience has shifted towards spectacle. Everything is choreographed, every pause is deliberate. Every dish arrives with a story you must understand in order to appreciate it. The pretentiousness has entered a new realm of influence. One viewer put it simply, "If I need a briefing to know how to feel about a dish, the dish has already failed." Another wrote, "Why does this look like everyone is afraid to disappoint?" The unspoken message becomes, if you do not get it, you do not belong here. Beneath the pretense of refinement lies intimidation disguised as culture. One comment hit especially hard. I love fine dining, but sometimes it feels like you're paying to be uncomfortable in public. Having an assembly line of staff members presenting one dish does not feel like hospitality. They are all part of a rush ceremony. The choreography signals importance but not care. Merely formality instead of warmth. Precision instead of presence. One viewer captured it perfectly. This feels like I'm being invited to admire the restaurant, not enjoy the meal. When the performance becomes the point, the diner becomes the audience. The dish becomes a prop. Another comment said, luxury should feel effortless. If everyone is tense, it is not luxury anymore. And beneath the seamless presentation is labor, the endless repetition. The training designed to make service look identical, controlled, and strangely silent. Hospitality becomes something performed rather than something felt. As one person put it, I shouldn't need to behave correctly to eat. That is not dining.
Chef Himanshu Sani, who leads the kitchen with precision and creativity, called the recognition a dream come true and a moment of pride, both for himself and Indian cuisine globally.
Chef Himanshu Sani is a thoughtful and highly skilled chef. His work is rooted in memory, nostalgia, and sensory storytelling. He has said, food is a shared memory. It only matters when the person eating it feels part of the story. But in the viral moment, the diners did not look like they were part of a story. They looked like they were being positioned inside one, not only as participants. They were used as free props. The intention was emotional connection, but the execution demanded emotional obedience. The diner was not invited to feel, they were instructed to feel. This is the exact point where fine dining crosses into pretentiousness, when meaning is not discovered by the diner, but assigned to them by the room. A real emotional moment happens naturally. A staged emotional moment depends on compliance. And if the moment collapses the second the diner stops performing it, then it's just a house of cards. Fine dining now stands between two identities. It wants to be deeply meaningful, but it also wants to be admired. It wants to be art. But it fears letting the guest feel freely, so it orchestrates awe. It stages significance. It attempts to manufacture depth. But depth cannot be choreographed. Meaning cannot be forced. Chef Daniel Hum once said, luxury is feeling taken care of. Not impressed, not instructed, taken care of. Anthony Bourdain warned about this exact problem. When food becomes too precious, it stops being fun. And when it stops being fun, it stops being human. René Redzepi, one of the most influential chefs of our time, admitted that the culture of perfection in fine dining can turn the dining room into pressure instead of pleasure. The pursuit of perfection can become a trap, he said, and traps do not feel like luxury. Chef Thomas Keller has said, we are here to create memories, not monuments. Luxury cannot demand performance. It cannot require the diner to behave correctly in order to deserve the experience. Luxury is ease and comfort without explanation. And when a restaurant forgets that, it may still be impressive, but it is no longer intimate. Trezin's studio remains one of the most creative restaurants in the world. Its new influence on modern Indian cuisine is real. Its ambition is worthy of praise. But this viral moment revealed the fault line between hospitality and performance, between emotion and the performance of emotion, and between artistry and pretentiousness. If a meal requires silence and spectacle to feel meaningful, then the meaning was never in the food. True opulence does not need to be explained. Exact memory does not need to be orchestrated, and real emotions does not need to be rehearsed. So here is the question: is fine dining still about pleasure? Or has it become the performance of appearing to understand pleasure? Tell us where you stand in the comments. Have you ever felt this kind of pressure in a restaurant? Or does theatrical dining still hold meaning for you?